arrives from outer space, blows in with the wind, rides in with the waves, and rises from the molten core of the Earth, just in time to save a planet in crisis. Earth, air, fire, water, and imagination. Limitless resources whose time has come. Now, renewable energy on Modern Marvels. The action never stops at the FedEx Regional Sort Facility. Located at Oakland International Airport in California, it's the shipping giant's hub for the Pacific region. 1,700 workers and a state-of-the-art conveyor system sort about 85 million packages per year.
There's more than 250,000 packages that transit this facility in a given day. And we, in a month, are using approximately 450 to 500,000 kilowatt hours of power.
To meet these electricity demands, FedEx decided to build its own power plant. It's silent, has no moving parts, and it's located conveniently on the roof. Taking advantage of abundant sunshine and 81,000 square feet of unused roof space, FedEx hired Sharp Solar to design this photovoltaic electricity system in 2005. Today, it supplies 80% of the facility's peak electricity needs.
We're looking at a system here that's 904 kilowatts, a very large system. It might be the largest system, rooftop system on a commercial building in the state of California. And it's composed of about 5,700 solar modules, and that large array uses about 300,000 silicon cells.
When sunlight strikes each of the silicon cells, it excites electrons, which are knocked free to form an electric current. Metal contact points carry the current away and complete the circuit. Typically, 40 solar cells make up a module. Several modules are combined into an array.
The power off of these arrays are ganged up, put together, and sent down through an inverter. That inverter changes DC power to AC power.
And that's it. In a split second, sunlight is converted into electricity, enough to power the beehive of activity below.
It can power a light bulb on a desk, or it could power the whole sort system.
One of the large benefits of solar power for commercial applications is that the system typically produces its maximum amount of power when utility prices are the highest, which is the middle of the day. When this system is putting out more power than the building is using, the power goes back into the grid and actually turns the meter backwards.
And the system is pretty much maintenance-free. So we're very pleased with that, and it's just another way that FedEx can lower our environmental footprint and still give great service to our customers.
What kind of environmental benefit can one rooftop bring? Over its 25-year guaranteed life, this one will offset 10,800 tons of carbon dioxide. That's the equivalent of removing 2,100 cars from the road. In an economy burdened by the costs of increasingly scarce oil and natural gas, and a planet already feeling the impact of fossil fuel-driven climate change, the technological revolution of our time is renewable energy.
And say welcome to the 21st century. Things are going to be different. Energy, sustainable energy is something that our kids care about and the mainstream public cares about. And renewables has to be part of the solution.
Sunlight, wind, water, geothermal heat, and plant biomass are all essentially limitless resources. And they're all proven technologies that work right here, right now. The sun provides the Earth with unfathomable amounts of energy. In 1 hour, The Earth receives more energy from the sun than the entire human race uses in a year. With current technology, photovoltaic panels covering 10,000 square miles, or about 10% of the land area of Nevada, could provide all of the electricity used by the United States. Although photovoltaics, converting the sun's light to electricity, was not discovered until the 20th century, solar thermal, harnessing the sun's heat, is an ancient practice. Perhaps the earliest use of solar thermal technology was the south-facing home. Ancient cultures, including the Anasazi Indians of the American Southwest, designed their buildings to face south to maximize heat from the sun, which stays low in the southern sky during winter. In the summer, when the sun is high in the sky, the cliff face that extended over the building provided cooling shade. It's still a common design today.
The Greeks built entire cities laying out the streets so every house could take advantage of sunlight during winter but avoid it during summer. Now the Romans went one step further and they discovered that clear glass will trap solar heat. So they covered the windows with glass. So they became what the Romans called heliocamini, which mean solar furnaces.
2 millennia later, the 19th century equivalent of this technology was born. The rooftop solar water heater, which traps the sun's rays in a glass collector and rapidly heats up water inside insulated glass pipes. At the turn of the 20th century, 30% of the homes in Pasadena, California, used solar water heaters. The same concept is used today to cheaply provide hot water to millions, even in cold, cloudy climates.
For almost every homeowner, heating water is the #1 use of natural gas electricity. And using the sun to heat is much cheaper.
Solar thermal energy can also cheaply produce electricity. Giant solar power plants, like this one in California's Mojave Desert, don't use photovoltaic panels to convert light into electricity. Instead, mirrors focus solar rays onto a thin absorber tube that runs along the mirror's focal point. Inside the tube is synthetic oil, which is blasted with intense heat.
Like about 1,000 degrees centigrade. One word of advice, never put your hand at the focus of a concentrating mirror, because it will just make an immediate hole through your flesh.
The superheated oil boils water into steam, which turns turbines. The oil then recirculates through the closed-loop system. In hot, dry areas, solar thermal plants generate serious megawatts at a price lower than typical grid power. In fact, solar thermal plants occupying that same 10% section of Nevada could also supply all of the United States' electrical needs. Meanwhile, photovoltaic technology is surging ahead into its second century. It's come a long way since 1904, when Albert Einstein first proved that light was composed of tiny packets of energy known as photons, which could be converted to electricity. Photovoltaic cells got their first big break in the 1950s, thanks to the space race.